Guys, what's going on? Check out what we're working on again today. 521. Today we're going to adjust the valve lash. I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. This engine's super chattery up top. It sounds like it's coming kind of from the front. Lots of ticking. So I'm gonna show you guys how to adjust valve lash. Basically all you need is a feeler gauge and a couple of wrenches, but there's two ways to adjust it: adjusting it cold and hot. So I'm gonna adjust it hot because that's better. So I'm gonna start it up, let it warm up, and pretty low on gas. Sounds like it has a slight mist too, which I don't know what that would be, but you can hear how chattery it is up top. So basically all we got to do is let it run for a little bit, let it heat up real good, and then we should be able to pull the valve cover off, and then I'll start showing you guys how to adjust valve lash. All right, so she's all warmed up. First thing I'm gonna do is remove the battery. Okay, battery's removed. I'll probably also detail this bay while I'm at it, but I can now remove the plugs. And actually, I'm going to leave them on this and just take this piece off so I know that what goes to what. All right, so just drape them over like this, clear out of the way. All right, here's the cover. Just gonna set it on its side back here. I probably should have got a new gasket too, but just gonna have to deal with it for now. Here's what we're dealing with. We gotta remove the spark plugs so that the compression just comes out right there when we crank it over. All right, so when adjusting the valve lash, there's hot and cold. So basically what you would do for cold is you would adjust the valve lash when the engine is not hot. So for this engine that would be 8 and 10, but I already did that in the past, so we're doing hot, just for fine tuning. And we're going to do 0.012 and 0.010. So the 10 will be the intake and 12 will be exhaust, but when cold, 0.08 is intake and 0.010 is exhaust, but we're doing hot, so this will be the numbers. Crank the engine over until number 1 cam lobe facing upwards, and we'll be able to adjust it when it's facing up. You can't adjust the lash when the cam lobes are facing down because there's pressure on them at all times and you wouldn't get an accurate reading. So all right, so number 1 is facing up. So if you don't know which one's intake and which one's exhaust, it's pretty self-explanatory. Basically all what you would do is follow which cam lobe goes to what. So you look at this one right here, this first one is going to be exhaust because we got an exhaust on the outside. Then the next one, intake, exhaust, intake, intake, exhaust. So pretty easy. You just look at what pipes are going to what. So all right, first one being exhaust, we're gonna grab our 12 because that's what we're measuring for that. We're gonna slide it in, and not all of them are probably gonna end up being not right. So what you're gonna wanna do is feel for any movement. If it doesn't move at all, then that means it's too tight. Now we'll check some of the intake. Yeah. So here's an intake one right here. That almost barely moves in. So we'll have to adjust that one. All right, to be able to adjust this bottom one, there's a bottom nut here, right there. That's how you break it free. This is tightening and loosening after you adjust. So you would loosen this here to adjust it, and then when you're done, you would tighten it back up. And then the 14 millimeter is up top, and this is how you adjust the actual valve lash. So you tighten it or loosen it until it's snug in the right spot. All right, now here's a good example of one right here. So this one's intake. Cam lobe is facing up. You slide it, feeler gauge right in here, but notice I can't actually slide it in there. It won't go in at all, so that means it's too tight. So break the 17 millimeter free and adjust it with the 14 until we're just able to slide it in there. And we'll do that to each and every one of those, and that's it. All right, guys, we're 100% complete on the adjustment. Last clip I was adjusting with the number one facing up. So after you adjust all those ones, you would crank the engine 180 degrees. As you can see, the one in the back now is facing up, and you adjust those. Like when the number one was facing up before, I wasn't able to adjust this intake, but now I am, and it slides in and out perfectly. So all those are good. And now I can pop the valve cover back on. Tighten it down, and I'll start it up and see if most of the ticking has gone away. If not all the ticking is gone, that's all right. It's kind of hard to get these perfect. All right, valve cover's on, and I've noticed looks like the plugs, looks like it's been running slightly rich, so we'll have to adjust that a little bit. All right, everyone, so valve lash worked pretty well. Took it for a little spin. But anyway, I've been wanting to detail this bay, like really detail it for a while now. It's grimy, it's got dirt built up and caked up. So, gonna detail that up there, up at the shop. Use lots of degreaser and all that, and I'll cover up the carburetor and probably the distributor, or just be careful around that. And get all that grime off so it's looking a little better in here. So I'm just gonna be using Super Clean, and I got a bunch of these detail brushes from O'Reilly's, and start by degreasing the whole bay, which I already did, and then I'm just gonna use water and degreaser and rags and wipe it down. Kind of just scrub to make the degreaser work. All right, so I got the engine bay all cleaned up. This is about the best I was gonna go for. Most of the grease is gone. Still got tons of rust and stuff in here, but that's kind of expected. But yeah, this is pretty much all I wanted to do this truck today anyway, because I'm gonna go work on Blukey, try and see if I can get spark on that thing. But just look at the height difference between this one and this one. But yeah, I mean, it looks way better. It's a lot cleaner, a lot easier to deal with in here. Anyway, I know this video is probably pretty short, but hope you guys enjoyed watching anyway. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.